First up, the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from the year 1954, without mint mark, in good condition. This coin may look common at first glance, but its history, condition, and collector demand make it far more valuable than many people expect. If you have old pennies stored in a jar or box, this video could help you understand whether one of them is worth real money in today's market. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and continued until 1958. The year 1954 falls near the end of this classic series, which already makes it attractive to collectors. Coins from later wheat penny years are often overlooked, yet many collectors actively search for clean, original examples, especially those struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia, and in 1954 this mint struck a very large number of pennies. However, high survival numbers do not always mean high-quality examples are easy to find. The design of the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains the classic look created by Victor David Brenner. The front shows Abraham Lincoln facing right with strong facial detail when well preserved. You should see clear separation in the hairlines, the ear, the jaw, and the bow tie area. In good condition, the lettering of Liberty and the date remains readable with moderate wear but no heavy damage. On the reverse side, two wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. In a good condition coin, the wheat lines are still visible though flattened from circulation, and the rim remains mostly intact. What truly matters for value is condition. A good condition coin means it has seen circulation but still holds a pleasing appearance. There should be no major holes, deep scratches, or bending. Natural brown color is preferred by collectors. A coin that has been harshly cleaned or chemically altered will usually lose value, even if it looks shiny. Original surfaces with even wear are always more desirable. Now, let us talk about today's market value. In current collector markets, a 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in good condition generally sells for between 50 cents and $2, depending on eye appeal and surface quality. Coins with smooth wear, strong rims, and natural color can reach the upper end of this range. In some cases, rolls or groups of similar condition coins sell well because collectors enjoy building date sets. If the coin shows better than average detail and borders between good and very fine condition, values can increase further. Sometimes such coins sell for $3 or more, especially when demand is high. Although this penny will not make you rich, it is still a solid collectible with steady value and strong interest among beginner and intermediate collectors. One important thing to understand is that 1954 pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This copper content alone gives the coin a base metal value and adds to its appeal. During times of rising copper prices, many people begin checking old pennies, which increases public interest and collector activity. This helps keep demand alive for classic wheat cents. Collectors value this coin not just for money, but for history. This penny was minted during a time of economic growth after the Second World War. It passed through countless hands buying bread, newspapers, and everyday goods. Holding one connects you directly to mid-20th century American life. That emotional connection plays a big role in why wheat pennies remain so popular. If you believe you own a 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark, examine it carefully under good light. Look for even wear, full date, readable lettering, and original color. Store it in a dry place, preferably in a coin flip or holder. Avoid cleaning it, as cleaning almost always lowers collector value. If you want to sell it, consider local coin shops, online marketplaces, or coin shows where collectors actively search for wheat pennies. In conclusion, the Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1954 without mint mark in good condition is a modest but respectable collectible. Its value today typically ranges from under $1 to a few dollars depending on condition and appeal. While it may not be rare, it remains a meaningful piece of American numismatic history and a favorite among collectors. If you enjoy coin collecting or are just starting, this penny is a perfect example of how everyday coins can still hold value decades later. Keep checking your change because you never know what history you might find in your pocket. The 1942 D Lincoln wheat cent, and give a realistic expectation of what a normally dirty, circulated example is worth today. Many collectors and casual finders confuse the wartime steel pennies with other dates, so start by clearing that up. The Lincoln cents struck in steel were the 1943 cents, when the U.S. Mint changed composition for 1 year to save copper for the war effort. The 1942 cents, including those from Denver, are the regular bronze alloy that had been used before 1943 and returned after the war. So if someone calls a 1942 coin a steely, correct them gently and explain the steel change actually happened in 1943. Wikipedia. What the coin is and why it matters. The 1942 D Lincoln wheat cent is one of 3 mint varieties from 1942, produced at Philadelphia with no mint mark, at Denver with a D mint mark, and at San Francisco with an S mint mark. The Denver strike for 1942 had a healthy mintage of about 206,698,000 coins, which means the date is common in pocket change and bulk lots, but that does not make every example worthless, because condition and eye appeal still matter for collectors. PCGS.com+1. Design and specs in one clear sentence. The obverse shows Victor D. Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, with "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" at the left, and the date and mint mark at lower right, while the reverse features the 2 wheat ears that give the series its informal name, wheat cent. Typical circulated appearance and what you should expect to find. In everyday circulation, a 1942 D wheat cent usually shows even wear across Lincoln's cheek and jaw hair, flattened devices on the reverse wheat stalks, dark toning or grime in the fields and on the rims, and sometimes greenish or black discoloration, depending on environmental exposure. When a viewer says their coin is dirty, that generally maps to circulated grades from good up to very fine, where surfaces are worn but devices remain identifiable. Realistic market value for a normally dirty circulated 1942 D. For a typical dirty circulated example, the current market value is small and measured in cents to a few dollars rather than tens or hundreds. Mainstream price guides and dealers list average circulated values roughly in the neighborhood of 15 cents to $1 for most circulated grades. If you have a cleaner VF or EF example, expect low single-digit prices, while uncirculated mint state coins are worth more, depending on grade and eye appeal. JM Bullion +1. Examples that show the full range of value. Because hundreds of millions were made, most 1942 D pennies are common, but exceptional high-grade specimens and rare error examples can command much higher prices in auction settings. There are recorded auction sales and high certified grades that show this date can climb into the hundreds or thousands when the grade is extremely high or when an unusual error is present. So always be open to the small chance your find is special and worth professional grading. Bullion Shark. Key error types and varieties to watch for. The standard 1942 D has a few collectible varieties that can make a modest difference in price, such as doubling on the date or designer initials, repunched mint marks, and die cracks or other die-related anomalies. A truly dramatic value change comes from composition errors, such as a 1943 bronze struck on copper planchet or a 1944 steel on leftover planchet, which are different stories and much rarer than everyday wear issues. If you suspect an odd composition or major error, do not clean the coin and consider having it examined by a reputable third-party grading service. Wikipedia. How to grade a dirty circulated coin at home so you can estimate value. Look at the highest points of Lincoln's cheek and jaw and the tops of the wheat stalks for wear. If the hair detail is almost gone and the date is readable but flattened, you are likely in a good to very good range. If moderate detail remains across Lincoln's portrait and the wheat lines are visible but soft, you are in fine to very fine. A coin with mostly original color and clear fine details but light wear will bring nicer prices in the low single digits rather than pennies. Selling tips if you decide to move a 1942 D. Small circulated coins are easiest to sell locally or via online marketplaces where buyers expect common dates. Be honest about condition and include clear close-up photos of both obverse and reverse and the full rim so buyers can judge wear and any damage before you list. And if you suspect a rare variety or exceptional grade, get a professional opinion or submit the piece to a recognized grading service before listing, because certification can dramatically increase buyer confidence and achievable price. Buying tips for collectors. If you build Lincoln wheat sets, buy coins graded by reputable services for higher grades and seek coins with pleasing natural toning rather than heavy corrosion or cleaning that will hurt long-term desirability. Short checklist for viewers who find a 1942 D in pocket change. Confirm the mint mark D and that the date is actually 1942 and not a similar date. Check whether the coin is bronze or steel. A true 1942 should be bronze, and if it is steel, that requires special attention because steel 1942 planchets are not the standard issue and might indicate an oddity or mislabeling. Do not clean the coin. Remove dirt with harsh chemicals or sand it because cleaning destroys collector value. Closing practical value summary. For a normal, dirty, circulated 1942 D Lincoln wheat cent, expect a few cents to $1 in most marketplace scenarios and low single-digit dollars for nicer circulated examples. Exceptional certified mint state examples and rare error pieces can be worth substantially more, so if you think you have something special, document it with photos and seek professional grading or a second opinion from a reputable dealer before you sell. Call to action for your channel audience. Encourage viewers to check their jars of change and tell them to post clear photos in the comments or tag your channel on social media if they want a quick opinion, but remind them not to clean coins and to consider professional grading for suspected rarities. Sources for further reading and price checking. Reference sites include major price guides and grading services that list mintage and price ranges, and also detailed articles about the wartime steel change in 1943 if anyone wants the deeper historical context. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny 1952 with S mint mark in good condition. Even though many people confuse the term steel with regular wheat cents, it is important to clearly explain that all 1952 Lincoln wheat pennies were made of copper alloy and not steel. The only official steel cents were produced in 1943 during World War II. However, many collectors still use the word steel by mistake. So in this video, we will focus on the real and authentic 1952 S Lincoln wheat penny and why it is considered valuable today in the collector's market. Next up, the 1947 D Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition, and explain its history, design, mintage numbers, what collectors look for when grading one as extra fine, how much these coins sell for in today's market in US dollars, how to authenticate and preserve your example, and why this modest cent still matters to collectors. The 1947 D Lincoln wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint in a post-war United States where coin production had returned to normal copper planchets after wartime changes. The designer was Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of Lincoln was introduced in 1909 and remained on the 1 cent through the wheat reverse years from 1909 to 1958. The Denver Mint produced 194,750,000 examples in 1947, making this an abundant date in typical circulated grades, but still meaningful when found in high grades because survivors with original surfaces and attractive eye appeal are relatively uncommon compared with lower grades. When we say extra fine or XF on a Lincoln wheat cent, we are describing a coin that shows light wear across the highest points but retains major details sharply. The cheek and jawline on Lincoln will show slight flattening, but hairlines and facial details remain distinct. The wheat stalks on the reverse will show most detail with only light wear at the tips. Typical numeric equivalents place extra fine around XF40 to XF45 on the 70-point Sheldon scale. Practically, this means the coin is pleasing to the eye, has minimal contact marks, and strong devices and legends. If it still shows original mint luster in protected areas, it may be especially desirable to collectors and dealers alike. Market value in US dollars depends on a few straightforward factors: coin grade, eye appeal, color, full red, red-brown, or brown, any post-mint damage, and whether the piece has been improperly cleaned or altered. For an extra fine 1947D Lincoln wheat penny, typical retail and online price guides and recent marketplace sales generally put values in the low single digits to low tens of dollars for ordinary examples. Sources that track completed sales and price guides show that common circulated to XF examples often trade around roughly $1 to a few dollars in everyday market conditions, while nicer XF pieces with attractive surfaces and strong strike can sometimes command somewhat higher prices on online marketplaces or in person at shows. It is important to separate everyday market expectations from extreme outliers. Historic auction records demonstrate how extraordinary examples can bring far more than guidebook values. An example is the auction record for a 1947D in an exceptional mint state grade, which sold for thousands of dollars at auction. This record sale illustrates that while ordinary XF examples are inexpensive, truly exceptional survivors with top-end grading and original surfaces attract serious collector interest and strong bids at major auctions. If you are assessing a 1947D for sale or purchase, here are practical grading and authentication tips. Look at the high points of Lincoln's portrait for even light wear without flattened detail. Note the strike on the wheat stalks and the clarity of the motto and date. Examine the surfaces for hairlines, scratches, or evidence of cleaning, which will reduce value strongly. Check color and toning. Original red or red-brown surfaces are usually more valuable than fully brown coins. Consider certification for coins that appear above XF, and especially for coins you plan to sell at auction or to an online audience. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC gives buyers confidence and can substantially increase the selling price when the coin grades high, because certification removes much of the subjectivity from the transaction. How to store and preserve your extra fine 1947D. Keep the coin in a clean, inert holder, such as a Mylar flip, acid-free cardboard 2x2, or a certified coin slab if already graded. Avoid PVC holders, which can damage surfaces. Avoid cleaning or polishing the coin because cleaning will seriously reduce its value. Store coins in a stable, dry environment away from extreme temperature or humidity changes, and when handling, use soft gloves or handle by the edges to avoid oils from the skin. What buyers and collectors look for. Beyond grade, eye appeal and originality matter a lot. A coin with even, attractive toning, full and undisturbed surfaces, and strong strike will outperform one that is merely a higher technical grade but has cleaning or abrasions. Many collectors place a premium on an XF coin with pleasing red highlights or strong visual contrast between fields and devices. Conversely, a well-worn but original brown example might be perfectly acceptable for a modest collection, but will sell for much less. Where to sell or buy a 1947D in XF? If you want to sell locally, consider coin shops or local coin clubs, where experienced dealers can give an immediate offer for single pieces. For higher return and wider exposure, use online auction platforms where collectors bid, but prepare for fees and shipping risks. If the coin looks like it may grade well, consider third-party grading first, as certification often makes it easier to reach collectors prepared to pay premiums. Also, watch completed auction results and price guide updates to set realistic reserve prices and expectations. A realistic price summary based on multiple reputable price guides and recent marketplace activity. Ordinary extra fine 1947D wheat pennies commonly trade in the low single-digit dollar range to low tens of dollars in everyday markets. Exceptional XF coins with unusually attractive surfaces and original red or red-brown toning can bring higher prices from collectors in private sale or online auction. Certified mint state examples trade at higher multiples, and the all-time auction record for a 1947D mint state piece demonstrates that top-end material commands substantial sums in rare cases. Always check recent completed sales to confirm current market conditions before buying or selling. A few final practical notes. Authenticate the coin visually and with magnification. Look for consistent minting characteristics from the Denver issues. Compare with reference images if you suspect a rare error or unusual color. Have the piece evaluated by a knowledgeable dealer or third-party grader. Avoid optimistic pricing based solely on online listings, because some listings reflect hopeful asking prices rather than completed sales. Adjust expectations to reflect eye appeal and certification status. And if you are selling, photograph the coin under even lighting and include clear close-up images of obverse, reverse, and the date area. The 1952 S. Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which is identified by the small S mint mark located below the date on the obverse side of the coin. San Francisco Mint coins are often more desirable than Philadelphia issues because of lower mintages and better historical demand. In 1952, the United States was in the post-war era. Inflation was rising and coin production was carefully controlled. The San Francisco Mint produced far fewer wheat pennies compared to earlier decades, which adds to collector interest today. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has become one of the most recognized coin designs in the world. Lincoln faces right, with the word Liberty to the left, and the date with the S mint mark to the right. In good condition, the details of Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline are clearly visible, with moderate wear but no heavy damage. On the reverse side, the coin displays two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum at the top. This wheat reverse design was used from 1909 to 1958 and is deeply loved by collectors. In good condition, the wheat lines are still visible, though slightly worn, and the lettering remains strong. Now, let us talk about why the 1952 S Wheat Penny is valuable today. First is its mint mark. San Francisco Mint coins always attract extra attention. Second is condition. A good condition coin means the coin has wear from circulation but still retains clear date, mint mark, and major design features with no holes, no heavy corrosion, and no major bends. Third is collector demand. Wheat pennies are one of the most collected U.S. coins in the world, and many collectors aim to complete full date and mint mark sets. In today's coin market, a 1952 S Wheat Penny in good condition typically sells for around $0.10 to $0.30, depending on eye appeal, color, and surface quality. Coins with strong original brown color and even wear can sometimes reach $0.40. If the coin shows better than average detail or has a pleasing natural tone, collectors may pay slightly more. Coins with damage, heavy scratches, or corrosion usually sell for less. If the same coin is found in very fine or extra fine condition, the value can increase to $0.50 to $1, and uncirculated examples can reach several dollars. This is why condition is extremely important when determining value. Many people believe old pennies are automatically rare, but value depends on date, mint mark, and condition. The 1952 S Wheat Penny is not extremely rare, but it's a key semi-collectible date for beginners and long-term collectors. It's also popular for YouTube videos because people enjoy learning how everyday pocket change can still have value. When checking your coin, always look closely under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass to confirm the S mint mark and check for signs of cleaning. Cleaned coins lose value, so natural surfaces are always better. Store your coin in a dry place, preferably in a coin flip or holder to prevent further wear. To conclude, the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny 1952 with S mint mark in good condition is a solid collectible coin with real market value. Today, it's worth around $0.10 to $0.30, and sometimes more depending on condition and demand. It represents American history, classic coin design, and the lasting appeal of wheat pennies. For collectors and beginners alike, this coin remains a favorite and a strong addition to any wheat penny collection. Next up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Cent struck at Philadelphia with no mint mark, and we will cover its history, how to identify it, why most examples are common but some can be worth more, what a dirty, circulated example is typically worth in today's market, how collectors grade and value these coins, how to avoid costly mistakes when buying or selling, and practical tips to protect or possibly improve the value of your coin collection. The story behind the coin begins with Victor David Brenner's Lincoln design, which first appeared in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the wheat reverse was used from 1909 through 1958. Next up, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny from the Philadelphia Mint is a coin both common in everyday finds and interesting to collectors because of its place in the long-running Lincoln Cent series, its high mintage, and the range of conditions you can find it in, from heavily circulated to attractive uncirculated examples. Start with a brief historical setting to give context for the 1918 cent, the year the United States was concluding its involvement in World War I and the economy was adjusting to peacetime production. The Lincoln cent design by Victor David Brenner was well established, and the 1918 Philadelphia strike carried on with large production numbers, which is why the typical circulated 1918 no mint mark penny is commonly encountered today. Discuss the basics every viewer should know about the coin, including composition, size, and mintage, so they can identify and compare examples at a glance. The 1918 Philadelphia Lincoln cent is copper-based, about 3.11 grams in weight and 19 millimeters in diameter. And the mintage that year for the Philadelphia issue was large, which makes the coin relatively plentiful in circulated grades. Explain how condition drives value for wheat pennies and why the word circulated matters. A circulated coin shows wear from handling, smoothing of high points like Lincoln's cheekbone and jawline, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. These wear patterns are what separate a low-grade common example from a scarce collectible grade, and pricing for coins is quoted by grade, such as good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, and uncirculated. Move to realistic market expectations for someone holding a circulated 1918 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. In typical circulated grades, you should expect modest values. Most market guides and dealer price lists place circulated Philadelphia 1918 cents in a low dollar range. Common guides give approximate values from under $1 up to a few dollars, depending on the degree of wear. This is why finding a heavily worn 1918 in pocket change rarely yields a windfall, but it still has value to collectors building date sets. Compare the Philadelphia issue to the Denver and especially the 1918 San Francisco examples to highlight why the no mint mark piece is the ordinary variety. The 1918 Denver and especially the 1918 San Francisco examples tend to carry slightly higher premiums in many circulated grades. Collectors usually watch mint marks because a single letter can change demand and price. However, a plain 1918 from Philadelphia remains the widely held baseline for comparison. Cover factors that can unexpectedly raise value even for a circulated coin. Look for strong strikes, readable details even with wear, attractive natural toning, and any signs of die varieties or errors. Sometimes circulation does not erase every collectible attribute, and a well-struck 1918 with eye appeal or a documented die variety can bring interest from specialists and higher prices at auction. Give practical advice for evaluating and selling a circulated 1918 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. First, compare it to high-resolution photos from trusted graders, such as PCGS and NGC, to estimate grade. Second, check recent completed sales on auction platforms and dealer price guides to see what similar coins are actually selling for. Third, if you suspect an error or unusually high grade, consider submitting the coin to a reputable third-party grading service for authentication and grading before pursuing high-end sale channels. Explain typical price ranges viewers will encounter when researching or listing their circulated 1918 Philadelphia wheat penny. Mainstream price guides and market summaries commonly show circulated examples trading for amounts roughly between 50 cents and $5 in most ordinary grades. Examples closer to very fine may trade for a few dollars, while well-preserved mint state survivors command much higher premiums. Always verify current realized prices because the market moves and listings do not equal completed sale prices. Advise viewers on where to sell or consign their coin if they want market value rather than convenience. Local coin dealers are convenient and useful for quick sales. Online auction platforms attract collectors who may pay a premium when a coin is presented with clear photos and honest grading. And established auction houses or specialist dealers work best for coins that show exceptional grade or unusual attributes. In every case, document your coin clearly and compare multiple offers before accepting sale terms. Outline simple steps for preserving the value of a circulated 1918 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. Avoid cleaning or using chemical dips that strip original surfaces. Handle by the edges or use cotton gloves to prevent oils from your fingers transferring to the metal. Store the coin in inert clips, archival paper envelopes, or plastic holders designed for coins. And photograph the coin under good lighting for listings or when requesting grading advice from experts. Finish by restating that while the 1918 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is not among the highest value Lincoln cents, it remains a meaningful and collectible piece for date collectors and beginners building a set. Circulated examples typically sell in the low dollar range, but certain survivors with strong detail, attractive appearance, or error characteristics can command higher prices at auction. Always cross-check multiple price guides and recent sales for the best sense of what your specific coin might bring on the market. Closing call to action for the viewer to examine their coins carefully, compare them to trusted references, and consult a reputable dealer or grading service if they find an example that looks unusually well preserved or shows potential errors. This approach turns a common pocket find into a well-informed sale or a valued piece for a personal collection. Placing the 1956 cent near the end of the wheat reverse era, when the basic design was familiar and widely circulated. The Philadelphia Mint struck the vast majority of 1956 cents, producing roughly 420,745,000 pieces, making this date a high mintage issue and therefore common in most pocket change and collections. Physically, the 1956 Lincoln wheat cent is 19 millimeters across and weighs about 3.11 grams, and the alloy in 1956 is the traditional composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc that gives the coin its reddish-brown appearance when uncirculated and a dark brown or black tone when heavily circulated or dirty. Because so many were made, the standard Philadelphia 1956 wheat cent in circulated condition is generally worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars to most buyers, depending on exact wear and eye appeal, but specific higher grades and rare mint errors can push the price much higher. For everyday, dirty circulated examples, you should expect a value in the range of a few cents up to roughly $1 or $2 in most retail or online marketplace sales, unless there's an identifiable mint error or especially attractive toning that collectors prize. What dramatically changes value is condition and the presence of collectible errors or varieties. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1956 Philadelphia cent graded by a reputable service can fetch substantially more than a worn example, and top mint state survivors can sell for hundreds or more depending on grade and eye appeal, while some specific varieties and errors have sold for thousands in rare cases. Listings for notable error varieties sometimes show asking prices well above typical market prices, but always verify realized sale prices rather than only asking prices when estimating true market value. What dramatically changes value is condition and the presence of collectible errors or varieties. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1956 Philadelphia cent graded by a reputable service can fetch substantially more than a worn example, and top mint state survivors can sell for hundreds or more depending on grade and eye appeal, while some specific varieties and errors have sold for thousands in rare, exceptional cases. Examples of valuable anomalies include die doubling, repunched mint marks on Denver or San Francisco issues, lamination planchet errors, or other striking anomalies, and listings and guides show a wide variance in premiums for those varieties relative to the typical coin. If your coin is dirty, heavily worn, or blackened from circulation, you should not attempt any aggressive cleaning because cleaning usually reduces collector value even for common dates, and professional graders will often downgrade a clean surface or damage caused by abrasive methods. The recommended approach is to leave the coin as found, photograph it under natural light, note any unusual features such as doubled devices, die breaks, or rim anomalies, and if you suspect an error or variety that could be valuable, seek a second opinion from a reputable coin dealer or a specialist who deals in Lincoln cents. If you choose to have it graded and slabbed by PCGS, NGC, or ANACS, a surface that looks natural and untouched will almost always receive a better long-term result than one that has been polished or cleaned at home. How to inspect your 1956 Lincoln wheat cent like a collector. Hold the coin under bright, diffuse light and examine the date area and Lincoln's portrait for any doubling or strange die lines. Turn the coin to the reverse and inspect the wheat stalks for clear detail and for any doubling or extra rim devices. Check the rim and edge for clipped planchets or rim errors. These can turn an otherwise common specimen into a sought-after variety. Use a loupe at 5x to 10x magnification to look for repunched mint marks or hub doubling, especially on mint-marked issues, and photograph any anomalies to share with knowledgeable dealers or online coin communities for a preliminary opinion. Practical price guidance for a dirty, circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent in today's market. Most marketplace activity for a typical worn and dirty 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent shows modest prices, usually only a few cents, with casual buyers paying face value or slightly above when sold in small lots or mixed dates. When sold individually on auction sites or to collectors, a dirty circulated example will more often bring between a few cents and up to roughly $1 or $2, depending on demand and any invisible interest attributes. If your coin displays a clear mint error or attractive toning and surfaces, realistic prices can jump into double digits, and slabbed high-grade survivors show much higher realized prices at major auctions. A few real-world examples to give perspective. A standard circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent sold as part of bulk lots or eBay auctions typically trades for under $1 on average in recent listings. High-graded examples, or those with certified worthwhile errors, have recorded much stronger auction finishes, with rare error pieces or high mint state coins selling for hundreds, or in rare exceptional cases, thousands. Listings for notable error varieties sometimes show asking prices well above typical market prices, but always verify realized sale prices rather than only asking prices when estimating true market value. Practical price guidance for a dirty, circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent in today's market. Most marketplace activity for a typical worn and dirty 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent shows modest prices, usually only a few cents, with casual buyers paying face value or slightly above when sold in small lots or mixed weights. When sold individually on auction sites or to collectors, a dirty circulated example will more often bring between a few cents and up to roughly $1 or $2, depending on demand and any visible interest attributes. If your coin displays a clear mint error or attractive toning and surfaces, realistic prices can jump into double digits, and slabbed high-grade survivors show much higher realized prices at major auctions. A few real-world examples to give perspective. A standard circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent sold as part of bulk lots or eBay auctions typically trades for under $1 on average in recent listings. High-graded examples, or those with certified worthwhile errors, have recorded much stronger auction finishes, with rare error pieces or high mint state coins selling for hundreds, or in rare exceptional cases, thousands. Listings for notable error varieties sometimes show asking prices well above typical market prices, but always verify realized sale prices rather than only asking prices when estimating true market value. Practical price guidance for a dirty, circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent in today's market. Most marketplace activity for a typical worn and dirty 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent shows modest prices, usually only a few cents, with casual buyers paying face value or slightly above when sold in small lots or mixed dates. When sold individually on auction sites or to collectors, a dirty circulated example will more often bring between a few cents and up to roughly $1 or $2, depending on demand and any visible interest attributes. If your coin displays a clear mint error or attractive toning and surfaces, realistic prices can jump into double digits, and slabbed high-grade survivors show much higher realized prices at major auctions. A few real-world examples to give perspective. A standard circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent sold as part of bulk lots or eBay auctions typically trades for under $1 on average in recent listings. High-graded examples, or those with certified worthwhile errors, have recorded much stronger auction finishes, with rare error pieces or high mint state coins selling for hundreds, or in rare exceptional cases, thousands. Listings for notable error varieties sometimes show asking prices well above typical market prices, but always verify realized sale prices rather than only asking prices when estimating true market value. Practical price guidance for a dirty, circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent in today's market. Most marketplace activity for a typical worn and dirty 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent shows modest prices, usually only a few cents, with casual buyers paying face value or slightly above when sold in small lots or mixed dates.
When sold individually on auction sites or to collectors, a dirty circulated example will more often bring between a few cents and up to roughly $1 or $2, depending on demand and any visible interest attributes. If your coin displays a clear mint error or attractive toning and surfaces, realistic prices can jump into double digits, and slabbed high-grade survivors show much higher realized prices at major auctions. A few real-world examples to give perspective. A standard circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent sold as part of bulk lots or eBay auctions typically trades for under $1 on average in recent listings. High-graded examples, or those with certified worthwhile errors, have recorded much stronger auction finishes, with rare error pieces or high mint state coins selling for hundreds, or in rare exceptional cases, thousands. Listings for notable error varieties sometimes show asking prices well above typical market prices, but always verify realized sale prices rather than only asking prices when estimating true market value. Practical price guidance for a dirty, circulated 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent in today's market. Most marketplace activity for a typical worn and dirty 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent shows modest prices, usually only a few cents, with casual buyers paying face value or slightly above when sold in small lots or mixed dates. When sold individually on auction sites or to collectors, a dirty circulated example will more often bring between a few cents and up to roughly $1 or $2, depending on demand and any visible interest attributes. If your coin displays a clear mint error or attractive toning and surfaces.
Next up, the 1956 Lincoln wheat cent with a Denver D mint mark in extra fine condition, and I will give current market value estimates in US dollars as of December 17, 2025. The basics of the coin, including mintage and composition. The 1956 D Lincoln wheat cent was struck at the Denver Mint with a mintage of 1,098,201,100 pieces, making it a common date in circulated grades. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a weight of about 3.11 grams. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark is one of the notable coins for collectors due to its historical significance and collectible value. The Lincoln wheat penny series began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln and continued until 1958. The 1952 issue represents a post-World War II era when coinage was returning to stability and coins were produced in large numbers, yet certain conditions make some coins rare and highly desirable. This particular 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny features the distinctive D mint mark, which indicates it was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint was known for producing large quantities of pennies during this period, but surviving specimens with exceptional characteristics can still be scarce. Coins in black color shade condition are typically the result of oxidation or chemical reactions over time, giving them a darker patina compared to typical circulated or brown coins. While some collectors prefer the classic red or brown tones, black shaded pennies are still sought after for their unique appearance and the story they tell about the coin's journey through time. The design of the 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny follows the classic wheat cent format. The obverse features a detailed portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which was designed by Victor David Brenner and has remained an iconic image in American coinage. The inscriptions include Liberty and the date, along with the mint mark. On the reverse, the coin displays two stalks of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum above. This design is appreciated not only for its aesthetic appeal, but also for its symbolic representation of American heritage and agriculture. Collectors often examine 1952 D Lincoln wheat pennies for key factors that influence value. Condition is the most significant, with uncirculated coins commanding higher prices. Coins with noticeable wear, scratches, or discoloration are less valuable, but certain unique colorations, such as the black shade seen in some specimens, can create a niche collector interest. The coin's luster, strike quality, and absence of significant damage also play a role in its valuation. In today's market, a 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny in average circulated condition is relatively common, and prices usually range from a few cents to a few dollars. However, coins in very fine, extremely fine, or uncirculated condition see a marked increase in value.
A 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny with a black color shade condition, depending on the evenness of the color and overall eye appeal, could be valued between $5 and $15 for collectors who specialize in color variations and unique toning. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can fetch higher prices, sometimes significantly more if the coin exhibits exceptional strike, originality, and aesthetic quality. The 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny is more than just a piece of currency. It is a piece of history that connects modern collectors to the post-war era of American coinage. Collectors appreciate the coin for its design, historical context, and the subtle differences that make each coin unique. Even in black color shade condition, this penny remains a fascinating addition to a Lincoln cent collection and offers insight into the way coins age and interact with their environment over decades. Owning a 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny provides both historical value and collector interest. Whether part of a broader Lincoln cent collection or valued individually for its color variation and preservation, this coin remains a symbol of mid-20th century American coinage. Collectors and enthusiasts continue to seek out these coins for their educational and aesthetic value, ensuring that even coins with unique black shades maintain a place in the market and in personal collections. The market for Lincoln wheat pennies continues to be active, with buyers paying close attention to rarity, condition, and unique characteristics. Coins with unusual toning or color, like the black shade seen on some 1952 D specimens, often attract a niche group of collectors interested in natural patina and eye appeal. Pricing can vary depending on demand, and coins with professional grading receive a premium. For this reason, 1952 D Lincoln wheat pennies remain relevant in today's coin collecting community, offering both historical significance and tangible value in the collector marketplace. In summary, the 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny with a black color shade condition is a collectible coin that combines historical context, design significance, and unique appearance. Its value in today's market depends on color, condition, and collector demand, with typical black-shaded specimens selling for between $5 and $15, while higher-grade or certified examples can command even more. This coin serves as a reminder of the enduring appeal of Lincoln wheat pennies and the fascination collectors have with subtle variations that tell the story of the coin's life over decades.
Next up, the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the coins that captures the interest of collectors because of its age and historical significance. The Lincoln wheat penny series was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, which has become one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. The reverse of the coin features two stalks of wheat along the edges, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, a design that continued until 1958. The 1919 Lincoln wheat penny was produced primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark on the coin. That year, the mintage was relatively high, but finding coins in good condition has become increasingly rare due to the coin's age. The absence of a mint mark adds to the historical appeal because Philadelphia minted coins from this era are considered classic examples of early 20th century American coinage. Collectors are particularly interested in 1919 pennies due to the transition period they represent in U.S. history. The year 1919 followed the end of World War I, and the nation was undergoing economic and social changes that affected all aspects of daily life, including coin circulation. Because pennies were used extensively in commerce, most 1919 coins that survive today show significant wear, discoloration, and surface imperfections. A coin in dirty and blurred condition, with its details worn and outlines of Lincoln's portrait softened, reflects the history of everyday use and gives collectors a tangible link to the past. In today's market, the value of a 1919 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark varies depending on its condition. Coins in pristine condition or with minimal wear can sell for several $100s or more. However, a coin in dirty and blurred condition, where the design details are difficult to discern, will have a lower market value. Such coins are still sought after by collectors who are interested in completing a date series or who value the coin's historical context. On average, a 1919 penny without a mint mark in poor condition typically sells in the range of $5 to $25, depending on the severity of the wear and any unique characteristics the coin might have. It is important for collectors to handle these coins carefully because cleaning or attempting to restore them can reduce their value. Even coins in dirty or blurred condition are part of history and retain collectible value because they are over a century old. Many collectors prefer coins that show natural wear, as they reflect authentic circulation and provide a story of the coin's journey through time. The 1919 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty and blurred condition also offers an educational opportunity. Examining such coins allows collectors to study the design elements of early 20th century coinage, including the details of Lincoln's portrait, the wheat ears, and the lettering style. Despite the wear and blurred features, these coins still exhibit aspects of Victor David Brenner's original artistic vision, and even the faint outlines can provide insight into the craftsmanship of the period. Coins in dirty and blurred condition are often used in teaching about grading, wear patterns, and historical coin circulation. Collectors can compare these coins with higher grade examples to understand how circulation affects detail and texture. While the coin may not command a high premium, it is valuable as part of a complete date collection or as a representation of post-World War I American currency. In conclusion, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty and blurred condition is a collectible piece that connects modern collectors to the early 20th century. Its value in today's market ranges from $5 to $25, depending on wear and any unique characteristics the coin might have. Although not as valuable as coins in better condition, it holds historical significance, offers educational insights, and remains a sought-after item for collectors completing their series. Even with its imperfections, this coin is a tangible link to history and a reminder of everyday life and currency of 1919 America.
Matching the post-war Lincoln cent specifications. For authoritative specifications and mintage figures, see PCGS Coin Facts. PCGS. What extra fine means for a 1956D Lincoln cent. Extra fine, abbreviated XF or EF, refers to a coin that shows light wear on the highest points of the design while retaining most major details, with clear lettering and only modest flattening on Lincoln's cheek and the wheat stalks on the reverse. An XF example will have decent strike detail, limited contact marks, and overall pleasing eye appeal, even though the original mint luster is typically diminished. Collectors prefer XF coins when building affordable typesets and date and mint mark collections because XF strikes a balance between affordability and attractive detail. Current market value ranges and recent price evidence. Because the 1956D is a high mintage date, most market activity is concentrated in low circulated grades through modestly high uncirculated grades. For extra fine examples, marketplace listings and price guides commonly place values in the low single-digit range up to a few dollars, depending on color and eye appeal. Online retail listings for XF examples frequently show prices around $1.50 to $3 for typical brown or brown-red coins, with choice XF or nicer original red-brown color or strong strike sometimes fetching slightly more. Price guides and aggregated sale data support a modest value profile for XF 1956D cents, while certified high-grade MS examples can be worth significantly more according to auction records and grading service price guides. Auction and certified sale context. Uncommon high-grade certified examples have realized much higher sums at auction. For example, a PCGS MS67RD example showing the upper limit of what exceptional survivors can bring in recent years. Auction records and price databases show that certified near-mint to mint-state examples can range from tens into the low thousands of dollars at the extreme top end, but those are outliers and not representative of XF market value. For the typical extra fine 1956D, expect a market value roughly between $1 and $5 in ordinary commercial channels, with prices tending toward $1 to $2 for common XF brown pieces and toward $3 to $6 for XF with attractive original red-brown color or strong strike. See PCGS auction summaries and price guides for historic realized prices and high-end sales details. factors that move price for a 1956D cent. Color and surface preservation, commonly described as red, RB, red-brown, or brown, strongly influence price, with red or original red-brown examples commanding premiums even in XF grade. Strike quality and any post-mint alterations or cleaning will alter value substantially. Cleaned, scratched, or otherwise damaged coins are penalized heavily by collectors and graders. Attribution to certified grades by NGC or PCGS adds buyer confidence and liquidity, and coins with third-party certification often sell for higher prices than raw examples offered on open marketplaces. Errors and varieties are separate collectors' markets. The 1956D standard business strike is common, but documented errors or unusually attractive toning can make an otherwise ordinary piece more desirable. Reference NGC and PCGS price guides and census data to understand how grade and certification affect realized prices. How to buy or sell a 1956D in XF condition. When buying, examine high-resolution photos or request in-hand inspection where possible, checking for uniform surface, original color, absence of hairline cleaning marks, and strong detail. If you plan to sell, get multiple price checks from reputable dealers, check recent eBay completed sales for similar grade coins, and consider third-party grading if you believe the coin may grade high enough to cover slabbing costs. For small values typical of XF 1956D cents, certified grading is usually not economical unless the coin is an exceptional red or high-end uncirculated piece that could realize a substantial premium. Marketplaces like eBay and specialist coin dealers handle most transactions for these dates, while major auction houses are appropriate only for high-grade certified rarities that will benefit from a wider collector audience. Practical valuation summary as of December 17, 2025. Typical extra-fine 1956D Lincoln wheat cent value range approximately $1 to $5 in everyday buying and selling situations. Higher-end choice XF or original red-brown examples can approach $6 to $10 in specialist retail listings, while certified high-grade MS examples can sell for much more depending on grade and color. For authoritative, up-to-date price guidance, consult the PCGS and NGC price guides and auction price databases before pricing a coin for sale or purchase. Closing guidance for collectors. If your goal is to build an attractive and affordable Lincoln wheat set, an XF 1956D is a solid and expensive fill that will display nicely and hold stable value. If you believe your coin has unusually original red color, superior strike, or any variety or error, consider getting it examined by a reputable grader, because the premium for certified exceptional survivors can be substantial. If you would like, I can create a spoken word-friendly version of this script timed for a specific video length, or produce a shorter seller description for a marketplace listing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting.
Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the S mint mark is one of the most intriguing coins for collectors because of its historical significance and rarity in certain conditions. Produced at the San Francisco Mint, this coin was part of the long-running Lincoln Wheat Penny series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1944 S penny is particularly notable because it was minted during the final year of World War II, when coin production and metal allocation were influenced by the war effort. While most pennies were made from copper, by 1944 the standard composition had returned to 95% copper and 5% zinc after the wartime steel pennies of 1943. This specific coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse displays Lincoln's right-facing bust with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1944, followed by the small S mint mark beneath the date, indicating it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. The reverse side features the classic wheat ears on each side of the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and growth. This design remained unchanged from 1909 until 1958, making it iconic and instantly recognizable to collectors. Coins from this year and mint are often found in circulated condition, and the coin in question is described as having a dirty and black color shade. This coloration is due to oxidation and natural toning from exposure to air, moisture, and handling over the decades. Although the coin shows heavy circulation and discoloration, it still holds value due to its age, mint mark, and demand among collectors seeking to complete a set of Lincoln wheat pennies or specifically focusing on S mint mark examples. The mintage of the 1944 S Lincoln wheat penny was relatively high, with millions produced, but the majority have since become worn or altered through circulation. Coins in well-preserved condition are always more desirable, but even heavily circulated examples maintain collectible interest, especially those with unique toning or patina. In today's market, a 1944 S Lincoln wheat penny with a dirty and black color shade in average circulated condition typically sells for around $15 to $25. Coins that are in better condition, with less dirt and more original luster, can reach higher prices, sometimes exceeding $100 if graded and certified by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Collectors often look for these coins to fill gaps in their Lincoln wheat penny sets, to hold as investment pieces, or to study the subtle differences in strikes and wear patterns that each mint produces. The S mint mark makes this coin more appealing than the more common Philadelphia minted pennies without a mint mark. Even in blackened or dirty condition, the historical significance, the Lincoln design, and the S mint origin give it a notable place in the numismatic world. For those considering buying or selling a 1944 S Lincoln wheat penny, it is important to inspect the coin carefully, even in dirty or blackened states. Cleaning the coin is generally discouraged as it can reduce its value. Instead, collectors often appreciate the natural toning and evidence of circulation, which tells a story of the coin's journey over nearly 80 years. Market demand for these coins remains steady because Lincoln wheat pennies are among the most popular and historically significant coins in the United States, and the S mint mark examples from 1944 continue to attract attention from both new collectors and seasoned numismatists alike. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting!